Parents upset and a school principal apologizing. It's after their middle school students in 7th grade social studies at Challenger Middle School were asked personal questions in a survey as part of an assignment. WAAY 31's Matt Kroschel dug into how the controversial survey that was sanctioned ended up in homework. Matt.
And Marie, those questions included things like sexual orientation and asking the students how liberal their parents were. There were 48 questions in this survey. They were not vetted or approved by the school leadership or the district. The principal here at Challenger Middle School saying this survey didn't meet school standards. It's not clear if the teacher who included this in their lesson will face any disciplinary actions by the district because the district said they refused to comment on personnel matters. But the principal did send out an email to parents this week saying the teacher was asked to remove that survey, and now they're apologizing to parents for the error. There was a question about very targeted information about parents, about you asking the kids, are your parents liberal?
Yes, the very last question was, are your parents liberal or progressive in the political thoughts? And the only question or the answer to that was yes, no, or neutral. Which I feel is also, once again, very inappropriate to ask a child, and it just asks just for liberal or progressive parents, and is pretty much targeting conservative parents.
That parent didn't want to use her face on TV or use her name, but again, she's very upset, and she says that she's brought those concerns to the principal, and she's really not happy with the response here. Just that email going out to all the parents says it made their family feel very uncomfortable. She's worried about her student back here in the classroom in that same room with that same teacher. At least that's the current situation inside.
Why the teacher wants to know where the political leanings of the parents are and what the sexual orientation of the parents is absolutely weird as hell. Why do you care? I don't understand. It's not the teacher's business to know that stuff.
Yeah,
Why would the teacher wanna know that?
It's got nothing to do with education and learning as well.
I think the video says that the survey asked about the children's sexual orientation. Yeah. Why do you want to know that? Who are these weird sickos who are so interested in the sexuality of children?
But that's the thing. It's like when stuff like that is being asked, why is it not concerning to the teachers or anyone else to investigate?
This was a teacher that asked it.
No, like the other teachers or the head teachers. Why are they not investigating to find out why this particular teacher is wanting to know or ask these questions? I think that things like that should warrant for an investigation, because what is the reason behind that?
Oh, she should be sacked. We know what the reason is. I mean, one of the glaring reasons is that she's trying to find out who the conservative parents are, because you can't be a conservative without being labeled all sorts of nasty things. To ask a child what your parents' political beliefs are is obvious. There's obviously an agenda behind it. That is not a normal survey to give to children to get filled out. And if I was a parent and I got that through the post, or my kid came home with that, you best believe I'm showing up at that school and she's going to answer some questions.
This is it. They all seem like they've taken relevant action though, which is good. And obviously the school knows that they fucked up.
There's a problem with American schools. I'm seeing so much shit with teachers in American schools. It's crazy. They need to vet these people a lot better. There is no reason why you should be asking a child about their sexual orientation. No reason whatsoever. It makes no sense in my head. I can't make heads or tails of it. I can't sit here and defame someone and make accusations of them, but I can say it's fucking weird to ask a child that, and it's very obvious why you're asking about political beliefs. We know full well that you can only think one way. If you think the other way, then you're all sorts of bad things.
But then I don't get what is supposed to happen after.
That child will probably be ostracized. That child will probably be treated differently by the teacher, or the teacher might have some sort of like campaign against the parents, or might want to call meetings with the parents to say that, oh, you know, like having these sort of beliefs is harmful, this, that, and the other. There's any number of reasons, because it is bizarre to ask a child to get that information from your parents. There's 100% an agenda behind it. And if there's a teacher that is watching this video, if anyone knows a teacher, just teach the class. Do the 1 plus 1 and the 2 plus 2. Do the ABCs and the basic science. You don't need to know about a kid's sexual orientation. You don't need to tell a kid about your sexual orientation. You don't need to ask a kid about political beliefs or where their parents lean. It's none of your business. Teach them the basics. Teach them what children are supposed to learn in school. Teach them how to read and write, and keep your head out of other people's business.
This is the problem. It's too much other stuff that keeps being enforced on people. For example, asking the students sexual orientation, like you're saying, there's probably an agenda behind it, whether it's bad or whether they want to take it to a level of trying to make everyone feel included and stuff. It's like, it just doesn't need to be discussed, and it's just putting stuff out there that doesn't need to be put out there.
You can do whatever you want in the privacy of your own home. Nobody gives a shit. Do whatever you want. As long as you're not hurting someone, no one cares. But when you're in school, teach the kids their English, their maths, and their science. It's no wonder that there's such there's a huge spike in homeschooling in America.
Yeah.
I don't think I would want my kids in those schools. When I was going to school, this was not a thing.
Never.
All the teacher did was try to make me a better person by telling me, you need to do this and do that and treat people with respect and the basic things that you instill in a human being.
Yeah, it was literally just education and that's it. Go home.
Don't get me wrong, there were teachers that we would have relationships with where we would talk to them on a level, but about school appropriate things.
It would never be those sort of subjects ever.
Yeah, this spike in needing to tell people about your sexual orientation and needing to know about political beliefs, because this isn't the first school that's done it, and it certainly won't be the last. There are too many to go over, and this is mostly happening in America. Down here in the UK, I've heard rumblings of it, but it doesn't seem as widespread as it is over in America, but it's only a matter of time, and that's really why I wanted to cover it, because what happens over there tends to find its way over here. So if you're a parent watching this, just keep your ears to the ground, because some fuck shit's going to start happening in these schools.
Just pay attention to what's happening on your kids' day-to-day school life. Ask questions and just make sure that there's nothing going on that shouldn't be going on or being discussed that shouldn't be getting discussed.
Yeah, and if you're a teacher out there watching this, like I said, just teach them. Why do I need to even say this? It's in it's in the title.
Teach them Macbeth.
Yeah, teach them Macbeth of Mice and Men. Yeah. The classics, the shit that kids should be reading.
Yeah.
They need to be reading any of this garbage on it, or you trying to instill your own beliefs in them. It's not your place. You ain't the parents.